Hey, I'm Ron Drotos from keyboardimprov.com, and welcome to day 8 of the Art of Keith Jarrett, my 31-day tribute to the man and his music and how he's inspired me and how he can help us all become better musicians by following his example in his willingness to try different things, to really develop everything to its fullest potential. And for today, it's to start with nothing. You know, Jarrett's spoken about, people ask him, what do you think about when you go out on stage to play a solo concert? And you know, do you think, you know, how do you prepare? And he says to empty out, not think about the music, because if he does that, he tends to start in a box and it's not as good. So how do we do that? Well, it's called improvising, right? But the thing about improvising is it has to come from having experience, right? When we're speaking to somebody, we're improvising, but we already know all the words. We know how to handle different situations, and if we don't know the situation, somebody asks us a question we don't know the answer to, or we have to figure it out, we know the language and the process of the subject matter, hopefully, well enough to figure it out. That's improvising as well. It's not necessarily somebody dropping us off in a country where we don't speak the language and having to communicate verbally. So it's making it up, but not necessarily from scratch in one sense. But on the other hand, from scratch, because we don't know what our next words are going to be when we speak to somebody, right? So it's not just putting together things we already know, but it's not necessarily inventing the words at the same time, although we could do that. So with that in mind, professional musicians, right? You hear it all the time. You hear a great performance, and then you say, oh, in the old days, can I buy your CD? Or you go to listen to something streaming now or on the internet or YouTube video. And if it's a studio recording, a lot of times they're not as good as the live performances. And often it's because the performer, you want to get a note perfect recording. So they don't start from nothing. They kind of start from, oh, I know this is going to work. I know these licks are going to work, or this is going to sound pretty good. But it also puts a ceiling on, it puts a limit on how good it can be often. Right? So we have to find this balance. So, taking Jarrett's example, how do we really start from nothing? Well, one way, I just close my eyes and play a note. Starting from nothing. And if I can really do that, if I really go for it and let that first note inform what comes next. And yes, at some point I realized I was in F sharp and I could play in Lydian mode, sort of came into my mind. But at first I didn't know what note I was going to play. And to take that one note and let that lead us. I think that's what Jarrett does. And that's what he's willing to do, to totally submit to that. Not have this preconception of, oh, I know I want it to go there, or no, or I want it to go there. I didn't know it would sort of sound like chimes at some point when I first started, but it just led me there. So hopefully this inspires you to do the same, and maybe you're already doing it. Keep doing it, and I will as well. So thanks for being here, and let's start with nothing when we play and see where it takes us. Take care.